It is Tuesday yet again, and today we are going to check out the Scholarium vendor, followed by the new Telvar merchant, and then finally the Infinite Archive vendor. I neglected to mention this last time, but our friends over on console aren't going to get the Telvar merchant until tomorrow when they get update 44, November 13th. Everything here should be accurate then for them starting on the 13th. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get what we could get the last couple weeks, but now we should all be on the same playing field. So, starting off in the Scholarium, let's see what he has for us today.
Apologies for my...
We have Bound Affix Script Brittle. Adds Brittle, a debuff increasing critical damage taken. Bound Affix Script Heroism. Adds Heroism, a buff increasing ultimate generation. Bound Focus Script Knockback. Adds a knockback. And Bound Signature Script Gladiator's Tenacity adds damage reduction. All right, let's head over to Imperial City and see what the Telvar merchant has for us. We are now in Imperial sewers at the Ebonheart Pact base. We're about to talk to Here's the Stone, who is our new Telvar merchant with update 44. Let's see what she has for us.
Keep throwing.
First up, we have Gold Coast Treasure Map. This is going to bring us Flanking Strategist, Hide of Morehouse, and Sithis' Touch. The maps also have a chance to drop furnishings that are books. There's up to 4 available. There's a link below if you're not sure how that works. However, at 6,000 Telvar, compared to what we can get these for from guild traders, I really don't think it's worth it. Next up, we have Bound Affix Script Courage. Adds Courage, a buff increasing weapon and spell damage. Next up, we have Bound Focus Script Dispel. Adds a Dispel. And Bound Signature Script Crusader's Defiance. Adds removal of debilitating effects. We have quite a bit of jewelry this time. We have Enervating, Ring, and Amulet. We have Impregnable Armor. Oh, I see. They've given us Healthy, Robust, and Arcane and Impregnable Armor. Same thing with the rings. And then we have our leads. Ritual Circlet is for Gaze of Sithis. This comes from Cradle of Shadow's final boss, but remember, you're going to need Blackwood to dig this one up, because that's where you dig it. And our second lead is Rune-Scribed Braces. This is for Sirabane's Ward, and drops from Shipwright's Regret. You'll dig this one up in Galen, so you'll need to make sure you have the Galen DLC. All right, and then we have Twin Slashes Lilac Purple. This is one of our new skill styles. This one's pretty easy to get. You can get it from Madge for 20 keys. I personally think 20 keys is easier to get than 65,000 Telvar, but yet again, I'm not a PvPer, so you may disagree, but now we have 2 ways to get Lilac Purple, either through keys, which you get from doing pledges, or for 65,000 Telvar. Let's head over to Infinite Archive and see what Filer Rule has. Okay, and finally, we're in Infinite Archive, so let's see what we have.
I had to use magic.
All right, let's skip books for now. First up, we have Archival Essay, Blackwood Treasure Map. This one I'm a little bit more excited about. These do sell for about 5,000 gold, give or take, on PCNA. So the 2,000 Archival Fortunes doesn't seem quite as bad. From Blackwood, we get Bog Raider, Deadlands Assassin, and Frostbite. But also there's a chance to get a lead for the Ancestral Akaviri motif, which is what makes these a little bit more valuable. Then our scripts, we have Bound Affix Script Protection, adds protection, a buff reducing damage taken. We have Focus Script Disease Damage, which adds disease damage. And we have Bound Signature Script Assassin's Misery, adds improved use of status effects. Next we have Encratis' Behemoth Mask Style page. This isn't a bad looking mask. This comes out of Black Drake Villa, which by itself, Black Drake Villa is not that bad. I don't mind farming it on vet. However, hard mode gives you a better chance of getting this drop, and that one can be a little bit tricky, especially on tanks. It's a little bit tank heavy. So this one may not be a bad idea, especially because it's only from a limited time frame that it drops, and the RNG on these is usually pretty pitiful anyway. Okay. We have Cartographer's Vest, which comes out of the Dwemer named public dungeon in Blackreach Greymore Caverns. I won't even try to pronounce it. I have in the past. It's ugly. 7,000 archival fortunes is pretty steep. These sell for just, look, 1,400 to 1,700 gold on PCNA. I don't think it's worth it compared to the gold price at traders. Companion equipment, heavy armor. I don't usually recommend armor for companions. It is bound. You're at the mercy of RNG. So I'm going to skip this one this week as well. And I really think you should skip this lead too. Our first lead is Druidic Kettle Spout. Now it's gold. It looks all shiny. It's for the Druidic Provisioning Station, which is great, right? Except it's another one of those static leads. That means you just walk right up to it and pick it up. So you're going to go to High Isle. You're going to walk right up to the lead, which is south of Death's Valley Keep Delve. And then you have it. And you don't have to spend 5,000 archival fortunes. So I would rather travel to High Isle and pick it up than spend 5,000 archival fortunes. Maybe that's just me. Next up, we have Stainless Imperial Band. This is for Belharz's band. This drops out of Black Drake Villa, just like our mask this week. But this one should be a little bit easier to get than the mask. The good news is this will drop out of normal as well as vet, making it quite a bit easier. But it is here if you need it for 5,000 archival fortunes. Next up is Momentum Vibrant Yellow. I like that they're giving us some options here. This is normally 20 keys again with Madge, just like the Twin Slashes one that we saw in the Imperial City. 15,000 archival fortunes seems kind of steep compared to 20 keys, but that's still quite a few pledges. So you do have options here if you want to use them. Unreliable Archive Map. Consume 20 Unreliable Archive Maps to unlock the Peer into the Mirror Maze achievement and the Shattered Mirror Maze face marks. You will eventually get all of these things if you run your dailies in Infinite Archive, and at 7,000 archival fortunes apiece. To get 20 of them, you're going to have to run a lot of Infinite Archive anyway, so I think just let them come to you naturally. And finally, we have our books. I'm pretty excited about A Memory Book Part 1. It's a relatively plain-looking book, but it comes from Scrivener's Hall, which has a notoriously horrible drop rate. You have to get the keys from the loot goblins, and then you have to open the chests and then rely on RNG. And then you also have to know the eidetic memory. This one comes out of the entryway of Maelstrom Arena, so it's pretty easy to go find and get. But I've had horrible luck with RNG and Scrivener's Hall, so I'll be getting this one this week. And then Captain Berwara's Records. This one looks like a thinner, waterlogged book. This one drops an Infinite Archive, and the eidetic memory is also an Infinite Archive. All right, let's run a couple arcs and see what gear is dropping from the archive this week. Okay, we just ran 2 arcs of Infinite Archive, and it looks like we have gear dropping from Rivenspire. That includes Darkstride, Necropotence, and Vampire Cloak, and from Galen, which includes Back Alley Gourmand, Bastion of the Droif, and Phoenix Moth Thurge. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.